Well, hello everyone. Here we are again. Can hardly believe it myself. Here we are, March 2024, starting to uh, uh, lament doing videos because it means another month has passed. And but I'm excited to do videos because it's been a relatively smooth February for all of us, and obviously I'm coming out ahead of the end of the month by a couple of days. I mentioned last video I'll be away for a couple days. So wanted to get out in front of you all and say there have been obviously a few themes that have happened this month, but obviously the one we hear most about is this AI revolution and what is happening with AI and who's doing what to whom in AI and how to get AI chips and all this stuff. So it's amazing. I want to acknowledge that it will transform everything, and all of the superlatives that I can possibly heap on a thing. I want to heap it on AI and be right out there saying, we get it. It's going to change everything. And I understand that. And but I also want to say that we have heard a lot of these bold proclamations about the unassailability of the future and who will win in the future before. And so it somewhat explains, I guess, my natural skepticism to go all in on any particular thing ever. That skew toward skepticism has actually held us in very good stead over many, many years through the different fads and cannabis and all the different, things that kind of come into the scene, and everybody says this is unassailably what's going to happen and who's going to benefit. And many, so far, all of those things have been washed out. And even in the tech bubble, the companies that went into that very highly valued and mostly sought after in 99, I've recounted the story before of how we went through that period similar to now, where many people only wanted 4 stocks. And the argument was made then that these were great companies. And even back then, we would say they may be great companies, they may be the greatest companies, but that doesn't necessarily make them great investments. And some of those 4 companies haven't ever made it back to their highs of that era. And they ended up being great companies. They just, from that moment, weren't great investments. So I'll stop short of being a Luddite and proclaiming that this is not a real thing and isn't going to transform everything. Of course it is, but whether or not we're willing to go all in on these companies at these prices at this moment is a different subject. So it's why you see a persistent balance in our strategies that will get us through whether this moment is durable and persistent in terms of prices continue to rise. We do have exposure, but we also have a way to win if that isn't the case, and this turns out to be more hypey than some believe at this moment. So it's not a lecture or a sermon, but what it is it is a reminder that the balanced diet, the protein, meat and vegetables, and small portions of desserts is never a philosophy that will go out of style. It will always work. It's not always going to be the most enjoyable, the same way that eating an entire bowl of ice cream and nothing else would be enjoyable for the moment. But we all know that isn't a persistent approach to how to build wealth over many, many years, which is ultimately, or preserve wealth, which is ultimately what we're trying to do for all of us. And so anyway, I will let this suffice as our March video. Everyone knows how to reach me. If you've ever gotten an email from me, my cell phone number is right in the text. I've said it before. We're not publicity seekers, and we're not looking to maximize the exposure to the masses that we could garner if we took a different approach. We're here for all of you. This is why all of the people behind me come in every day, and hopefully you feel that and see it. I have heard many great pieces of feedback from you individually about the quality of the current team. I believe, and I say it to them all the time, it's the best it's ever been, which for all of us and you specifically makes me very happy and gives us a ton of pride. I think here we are in our 11th year. The firm has never been stronger. Our capabilities have never been deeper. And I think the one thing that hasn't changed is we're not confused about who we work for. We work for the people who watch this video, and so we couldn't be happier about that point. So here we go, March. We'll see what the last month of the first quarter brings, and we will be here regardless of what it brings, and be trying to get through it as best we can. And so I will chat with you again in April, and I hope everyone's 2024 is off to a great start. All right, cheers, everyone.